What is going on, my people? How are you? This is the Sports Counterpoints podcast. Today is April the 16th, 2025. I'm GB. I got Brian and Coop with me. As always, what's going on, my guys?
All right.
What up?
Talking
What up?
playoffs.
Yeah,
Playoffs.
this
That's right.
playoffs.
Mhm.
Shout out Jim Mora, man. Let's get to it. So we talking
Wait,
Matt.
hold on, GB. I gotta give a shout out to that color that Brian has on. That's hard to find in the store, my brother. What is that? What color is that?
This red?
on? Yeah. Oh, red. Okay.
Little-
It looks.
I looks a little fuchsia,
different.
little maroon.
Yeah, it looks like
you
little
know what I mean?
magenta. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
I
That's
woke
hard to
up.
find.
Yeah, I had a hell of a commute this morning. I woke up at 2:45 in Monterey for a 3:15 car pickup to drive to the San Jose airport. Got there about 4:15.
Yeah.
Airport doesn't even open until 4:30.
Damn.
Know that. And I fly out a lot. You taught me something.
Right.
Anyways, had a 6:30 flight to get to Burbank at 7:30. To get into the office for meetings that started at 9.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
So I wasn't wearing a dress shirt for all of that.
I didn't know the San Jose airport closed. So that's new. That's a new one for
Bro,
me.
I swear, bro.
I thought it stayed
Yeah, I
open.
was-
You know, it's interesting because I walked into the airport. Obviously, this is off topic, but I walk into the airport and everyone's just standing there. All the little kiosks where you go and check for for your bags and all that kind of stuff. So they're not turned on yet. They have a little screen saying, temporarily unavailable. There's all the SkyCap people are just chilling, talking. No one is in any of the helper areas. And then at like 4:30 they start strolling out. It's not like 4:30 they're ready to go. It's
Right.
like 4:35 they start turning some on.
Right.
4:40.
Hey.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that, but we had to go through that.
I ain't sorry, bro. We know the boy was out here. Why
Right.
why were you in Monterey?
I was in Monterey to play Pebble Beach.
Okay,
There you go.
You got no sympathy for me, bro. I
And-
wish
and
you'd
we
have got
will
up at
discuss.
2:00.
And we will discuss. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Or
sure.
you
So,
will discuss. Yes.
yeah, so we're gonna talk Masters. Speaking of golf, we're gonna talk about the Masters. Rory gets his first one, completes the Grand Slam. We'll do a quick rundown of the NHL playoff teams, talk quickly about the WNBA draft, go into a little bit of the guys' thoughts on the NBA playoffs and the brackets that's set up, and then our kind of usual segments: Hogwash, Game Ball, and Minute to Win It. So, man, let's start with the Masters, man. It's a big year for a few reasons. One, Rory finally wins it. Rory McIlroy's been trying to complete the Grand Slam for a long time, as evidenced by his reaction when he actually completed it, and how he fell to the ground in tears. Respect. It's been a long time coming, but you could tell how much he really wanted this. But I mean, it's a big deal because my brother was out there, man. Like Brian was out there, Golf Mecca, man. Tell us what that was like.
Yeah. A couple weeks before, I get an random invite, or not really that random, but random. Someone out of the blue kind of said, "Hey, can you make it?" I said yes before I figured out how I would be able to make it. Not easy a place to get to, but interesting. And then they just had a major hurricane there a while ago, and the town is still recovering. But it's a beautiful place, and I had a great setup. But anyways, the golf portion of it. For those of you who know very little about the Masters, other than that it's one of the biggest tournaments, they do not allow any type of electronics on the property. No phones, no cameras, no type of electronics. You can have an Apple Watch as long as it doesn't have cellular signal and it's on on airplane mode. If you touch your watch, they will kick you out. It's pretty crazy. And then the way that tickets work there is that they are for named people. They only give the tickets away on a lottery system. And if you get lucky enough to win the lottery and get one of the tickets, it's only $450. But for all of us,
Right, Coop. Only $450. I mean, it's a big deal, but yeah,
$450 for a week worth of
I get it.
It's a ton of stuff. They resell for $10,000. Those passes resell for $10,000. And the way it works is they give you a pass. So we had a company that helped us out and did a bunch of wonderful things and really, really like I wouldn't say their name because I don't want to compromise them, but it was over the top, super nice. Someone comes to the house in cars to pick us up and gives us our pass for the day. And mine was from, I won't give her name away, but mine was a resold pass from a woman in like Evans, Georgia in her 70s. They gave me a dossier that I was supposed to remember on the drive to the course in case anyone asked me questions. And so they, I go over and give me the whole thing. You go, it's the property's behemoth. I mean, you could fit 6 golf courses on the full property. It was about 1.5 mile to 2 mile walk just to get from where we were parked to the course itself. And then you did another. I was doing 20 to 25,000 steps a day, which is 12 and a half miles a day. And I swear it's where our grandparents' schools were built. It was uphill both ways all the time. Like, it was so up. It was so hilly. And you can kind of see that in a little bit when you're watching on TV, but in real life, it is it's very, very up and down a hill. So anyways, the group that I was with had it really dialed in. You're only allowed to bring in 1 chair. So every day we had about 15 people. We'd bring in all 15 chairs. We'd give all 15 to 5 people, and they would go run and get put our seats down in one place. Because the way it works is if you put your little folding chairs down, that's your spot for the whole day. No one will move them. If someone bothers to sit in them because you're not there, they will gladly get up. But you can go get the best seats in the house. There's no pre-reservations unless you're a member or have some. You can go in at 6:30 as opposed to like 8 o'clock. But and then the rest of us ran to the place where you buy the chairs, and we bought 15 or 30 more, and then we brought them to other holes. So we had front row seats both days on 18. That was my team's group. We always got the chairs at 18. We had 3 and 13 and 6 and amen corner, and so you go get the whole thing set up. There is not a blade of grass that is out of place on this entire course. And when I tell you everything is green to make sure that it all blends in, the sand that you walk in, because there's certain areas where you're walking, they don't want you to trample the grass. They put some sand down. The sand and the gravel, green, so that you can't tell if you're looking on TV, you can't tell it's there. The cups are green. I just put the cups away, but everything's green so that it all kind of, works together. The one thing that the Masters is famous for is their food. And they have a pimento cheese sandwich. It's $1.50. Ham and cheese sandwich. It's $1.50. You want a cookie or anything like that, it's $1. You want a soft drink, it's $1.50. If you want a barbecue pork sandwich, it's $3. Ice cream sandwich is $2.50, something like that. Everything's dirt cheap. You have to try hard to spend $10 on food.
How was it?
Everything was excellent. But the thing about it is, it's not like the best thing you've ever eaten. The reason it was excellent is it was super simple. So pimento cheese sandwich, some person does a hand spread before of pimento cheese, puts 2 pieces of bread, Wonder Bread together, puts it in a bag, and that is it. And it tastes good. It's simple. I didn't have a ham and cheese. I had a bunch of the barbecue pork, but all it was, they had a bunch of barbecue pork, put a big scoop on it, put it in a bag. And they were delicious. Their ice cream sandwiches, which are unique to them, and their beers, which is called Crow's Nest, are unique to them. Those ice cream sandwiches are the best thing I've had in a really, really long time.
That's the peach one?
It's 2 sugar cookies with peach ice cream in the middle.
Crazy.
For like $2.
Wait. So it's like a peach. It's it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay.
But they're unique to the Masters. They have a little label next to them.
Okay.
So 4 of those got eaten in 2 days. It was, but anyways, it's the most efficiently run place in the world. When you go to the bathroom, there's 5 to 6 people in each bathroom telling everyone, all right, you go over here. You never stop walking. There's there's a line, but you never stop walking. You just keep going there. It's super efficient. You go get food. You never stop walking. You just walk through, you grab your stuff, you get to the front. There's a bunch of people to check you out in a heartbeat, and you're gone. But here's something that's very, very unique. You go get in line to go get a bunch of gifts and stuff like that. So I go and get in the line, and it took about 20 minutes to get to through the line, which wasn't bad at all. And you go in there, you walk up, and there's a bunch, all the polo shirts, and you're like, all right, I need one in large and double extra large. All right, go over here. I want those 2 shirts. I want double large, double extra large. I want to get the flags. You just point to it. You just give you a bag. You put all the stuff in the bag, and you go get in line. You can get in and out in 10, 15 minutes if you wanted to.
Crazy.
Most of the time, you're just kind of looking around. You pay for we got a bunch of little stuff by the line. You can get that kind of stuff, but then you pay and you go out, and they immediately dump you into a line to either check your stuff or ship your stuff. You walk right up, and you give them all your stuff, and they throw it in a box, and they scan your ID for the address.
Oh, that's hard.
Scan your card, and then they plop it in a box, and then the next time you see it is at home.
That's hard.
So you don't have to you're not carrying crap around. You can if you wanted to, but I wasn't gonna be able to ship all that stuff back anyway. So, but anyways, onto the golf. It's just unreal how close you're able to get. So, on Friday, Justin Rose, who was leading the turn,
he played his ass off that last round too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Bro,
he came back after losing his lead. But he got into some shit on 18 and he was literally having to chip or putt from my lap. I mean, when I tell you he was as far as from me to my camera right here, from where I was, and he used a 3-wood, and it's if you go to on Masters, you can go and you can see every shot taken by every player. So he putted with a 3-wood from the rough, kind of the first cut, but they moved all the chairs out, and it was just me and him right there. The day before, Adam shanked his shot into the crowd, and it was just me and him, and he had to chip over. And so I would get out of our buddy Derek. I get out of the thing on Friday, and I've got 20 text messages from him showing me pictures. I was on the feed, and he was like, I know that's you.
That's hard.
That's how close to the action we were. All of our seats were first row. We just were able to put our seats there, and we didn't get there at 6:30 in the morning for 8 o'clock tee times. We got there at 8:30, and we're still able to do all of that. People are walking around. People are super nice. People get super quiet. You can't hear a drone, or there's no blimps. And when someone's about to putt, it gets so quiet that you can hear the putter head hit the ball. You could hear a pin drop on grass. I mean, it gets that quiet. People are so respectful, independent of people. Sometimes there's a big putt going on somewhere else.
Yeah.
But it's so respectful. Everyone is super nice. You end up sitting next to some very interesting people, because I'm not anyone in particular, but I spent all of my day on Friday basically sitting in front of the Texas Attorney General, who is, our politics do not align, but he and I were chit-chatting the whole day, and his assistant was all mad because I was in front of him in row 1 and he was in row 2. Get over it. But sitting with him, and he's sitting there talking about, it's like, oh, we got to leave early, got to go get on a call with Trump, and it's just a very, very small world. You see all of those airplanes, right? All the private airplanes. Once they get on the grounds, they're the same type of patron as everybody else. It's a beautiful course. It looks ridiculously hard. The greens are moving at a 12 or 13 for those of you who know what that means.
Means I ain't making jack.
Well, it's funny because, the way I like to watch golf tournaments is that I prefer to stay mostly in one place. I want to go see all the holes because I wanted to go see all the holes. It was the only one and only time I'll probably ever be there.
Sure.
But I loved sitting on 18. So almost most of my time was spent on 18, all the afternoons. And I knew those putts better than they did. And so I was sitting with the group of people that I was with, and the way they would be lining up, and I'd be like, he's going to miss it. He's going to miss it left. He's lining up. He's going to have to hit it too soft. He can't do it. I had gotten the read down, and everyone who was people that were part of a group and new group started looking to me to see if people were going to make it by the end of the day. And I was right, I think, all but one time.
That's crazy.
And yeah, you just get to a point where you read it, because I'm that close. I'm 7-8 feet behind. I'm right where you would stand if you were trying to stand behind the guy putting to look at their alignment, right? And I learned all the breaks, and we put our seats in a place that allowed us to see all of that. And yeah, I mean, you're super close. You can talk to the player. You're not supposed to really talk to the players or bother them in any way, shape, or form, but they're pretty nice, and they'll be like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" Or when Rose hit his shot, someone said, "Man, incredible shot," and he turned around and said, "Yeah, it was pretty good." That
He was balling, bro. What, you saw Rory too?
Oh yeah, I saw every single person from 5 feet away. So when
one time
Rory
Tiger don't play
in,
too, bro. You'd have been right there.
Oh, it definitely disappointing, because like I said, I had on 18, I had a position both days where it was me in the hole both times. I was right there next to the holes. So you no matter what, you were going to be really, really close to where we were at one point in time or another. I saw every single player I could have wanted to see. Yeah. And
That's awesome, man.
whole days. There was nobody I missed. Saw couples up close. Saw Phil, saw Scotty numerous times, McElroy numerous times, Rose a few. Even guys I don't like, DeChambeau and Reed.
Shambo, he's playing golf though.
He played golf until the last day. He started the round at 10 under.
He got tough for him. That is awesome, bro. That's dope. That's so cool.
I've been lucky enough to have a lot of pretty good sports experiences. I'm pretty sure that there won't be any sports viewing experience.
It's gonna be tough. Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
There's not a Super Bowl that I can think of that I would be able to be in that kind of environment, that close to the action, having that much fun. It was just perfect. The weather was perfect. Everything about this experience was perfect for the time that I was there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Man,
dope, bro.
That's
great
right
recap
there.
too. Yeah, for real. Like, man, I was watching.
You should have said, "Man, call me after that meeting with Trump." Should have said, "Holla at me."
What I should have said is what I was thinking about. Real talk, real quickly. His wife started he was talking about how his husband is an attorney, and I was like, "Oh, that's fine. All of us are attorneys except for me. I work for attorneys." And she's like, "Well, what law firm do you work for?" I tell her the law firm I work for. And she's like, "Oh, do you guys do anything in Texas?" Like, "Yeah, we do a lot of things in Texas." "Well, you do anything that I would know?" Because he's the attorney general. She was kind of like bragging on him. And then she was trying to talk a little trash a little bit. And all the other attorneys are around me were kind of looking at me to respond. So finally, when I was done, I was like, "Well, the amicus brief that was filed, we did that. We're the ones, he is the one who's been filing EO orders or EEOC orders against some of the law firms and people. So he's kind of very much on the opposite side of ours." And after I said that, she left me alone. She didn't.
No.
She's like, "Oh yeah,
yeah.
Like,
all
Crazy,
right,
man.
Well, you enjoy your time.
Damn, this guy B was at the Masters.
I'm gonna sit here right in front of you and enjoy my day.
Damn, and then this guy goes from there to Pebble Beach.
Right.
Yeah.
That part.
Got to play Pebble Beach yesterday for 6 days. I was in golf nirvana.
Crazy.
And Pebble Beach is the best golf course I've ever played, bar none. And I've got to play a lot of good
nice
golf
ones,
courses. There's nothing like it. It's like 13 out of 18 holes are along the water, or have unobstructed water views. And the ones that don't are beautiful, kind of foresty looking holes, and they're beautiful in their own right. halfway houses, or they have a bunch of little places. I took a few shots of 1942 because they have the little minis just waiting for you to go and grab and go.
Man,
One,
Pebble Beach.
only had one par. I don't know if I should be bragging about that, but only had one par. But it was to win the closest to the pin when I hit it to 9 feet on the famous seventh, the downhill seventh, into a pretty significant win. It was 110 playing 125, and I'd stuck it pin high left. So won that. We won the team competition, and just had an amazing time.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Hey, that's one more par than all of us ever had there.
Yeah, I was about to say, bro. I ain't even. Well, I mean, if you count digital,
Should've made
I
30.
shot under. You know what I'm saying?
Digital.
On real life, ain't even close. That's awesome, B. Great recap
Man.
too, man. That's so
Yep.
dope.
Real
Cool,
talk.
man. Yeah, and Rory. So Rory wins it, man. He played
Deservedly.
some really good golf at the end to get there. Had a chance to win it in regulation. Missed a putt. On 18, right where you were sitting them other few days. You probably could have told if he was told him to aim right a little bit. Misses it, but they go to playoff hole, and he hits some great shots and wins it all. So shout out to Rory, well deserved. Sixth player ever to create the career Grand Slam, which means he won all 4 majors in his career. Tiger's only one to do it in a row over two seasons, but yeah, shout out to Rory, man. He wins it, and Brian was there, man. Interestingly enough, he's been trying to do this for years. The 1 year my brother's there, he wins it. But whatever, I don't. Coincidence,
funny.
probably.
Years. I think he should recognize what I bring to the table and make sure I can come back every single year.
Coincidence, maybe. You know what I mean? But I mean, I would say you're 1 for 1 right now, so that's something to think about.
Right.
I may be ruined for golf tournaments though. I mean, it's such a great experience.
Yeah, that's
watch
crazy.
The Masters, that I've been to the U.S. Open. The viewing experience is not nearly as special or unique in any way, shape, or form. It's just millions of people everywhere.
Man, I want a pimento cheese. I don't care about no damn pimentos.
Oh man.
Yeah, the pimento cheese sandwich. I only had a little piece of it because it's not really my thing. It was delicious. It was delicious.
Yeah, man. I want to. Man, you got me. I want me one, bro. I don't even want to. I ain't never thought about no pimento cheese.
Pimento cheese.
Yeah, man. Y'all could call me that too. This is my new little nickname for a player. You know what I'm saying? Pimento cheese.
Pimento cheese.
But
they have
yeah,
hats on there that say pimento.
Oh, I'd probably grab one on some silly stuff. Word. Glad you went, B. Made it back safe, man.
No doubt.
Pebble. Awesome recap. Thank you for that. Feels like I was there. B was
right.
B called me from Augusta, which I appreciate. You know what I'm saying? It didn't say Augusta National, but I knew when I saw the 706 because I used to live in the 404. Shout out to Atlanta. I knew exactly what that number represented. So good luck. And I was at work when you called, but I saw it and I was like, this guy, pretty damn awesome. Shout out to James Brown too. When you think of Augusta, Georgia, I got to give a shout out to JB. So yeah, awesome recap. Shout out to Rory. So we're gonna slide now to the NHL. I just wanted to just give a kind of quick rundown of who's in the playoffs right now. And then we'll keep it moving. I know there's some of my people are hockey fans, but just for anyone else who doesn't know, our goal always on the show is to keep you informed so you know what's going on. So on the west side, you got Winnipeg playing St. Louis. You got Dallas and Colorado. That'd
be a good one.
Yeah, you got Las Vegas versus Minnesota, and the LA Kings versus Edmonton. Let's go Kings. You got Toronto playing Ottawa. Shout out to Toronto. You got Tampa Bay playing Florida, which is pretty awesome. Both those teams have won a Stanley Cup.
No,
in the last 3 years.
They playing Florida?
Yeah.
I thought they were playing Carolina. My fault. Okay, go ahead.
Nah, Washington's playing Montreal, and Carolina's playing New Jersey.
New Jersey. That's it.
Yeah,
okay.
Shout out to the Devils, man. I don't really, even when I was a kid and didn't know about hockey, that New Jersey Devils is always.
They were winning. Yeah, they were winning.
And it's always been recognizable. So those are your teams for the Stanley Cup. As we slide there, just so you know, if anyone asks you, you can't say we didn't tell you who was in it. I also wanted to give a quick rundown on the WNBA draft, starting with Paige Beckers, who gets first pick from UConn. 20% of all first picks, not first round picks, first picks in the WNBA history have been from UConn. Shout out to Gina Auriemma, and then all the great players that came out of UConn. Paige Beckers falls right in line with that, who's been on people's radar and a star since the 6th grade. Second pick, Dominique Malonga from France, goes to Seattle. Compared to, they're calling her the woman Wemby. Supposed to be super nice, maybe better than Paige. She's supposed to be crazy nice. So we're gonna see what that means for Seattle. DC, so Washington gets Sonia Citron and Kiki Irifan. Kiki from USC, Sonia from Notre Dame. And then I'm gonna mess up her name because she's from Lithuania. Sorry, Justy Josite is the first pick ever for the Valkyries. So that's the Bay Area Valkyries, the Golden State Valkyries. That's our first ever pick. So shout out there. Quick
I
rundown for the
hung out with the
WNBA.
CIO of the new team.
Sure did. Yeah, B's had quite a damn sports couple weeks, bruh. Pretty
Yeah.
tough, man. So yeah, so that's what's happening in the WNBA. So you know what happened there. And then we're gonna get you guys with the NFL draft is next week, which Coop and Brian just reminded me yesterday. I'm thinking we got weeks. I'm like, oh, we got some time. I forgot it's this late, not in April. Draft is next week. So we're gonna talk NFL draft next week. So we'll kind of run through that, what we think our teams might do, who we'd like to see, and then some of the top prospects, etc. So look for that next week. Our last kind of on this. So NBA playoffs, full swing. We had the playoff games, the play-in games, excuse me, that just ran the last couple days. So let's start with the East and end on the West because we live in the West.
Mhm.
You had the play-in, you had the Bulls playing the Heat. Heat win. They play the Hawks for the 8th seed. You had the Magic and the Hawks played. Magic's gonna slide to the 7. There's
Yeah, 7.
Yeah, and then the Hawks are gonna have to play the Heat for that 8th. So your first round playoff lineup, you got the Cavaliers versus the 8th. So that's gonna be the Cavaliers versus the Heat or the Hawks. Pacers versus the Bucks, Knicks versus the Pistons, and Celtics versus the Magic. So however y'all want to play it, man, give me your thoughts, what you think about the East Coast, and then we'll slide to the West.
I mean, just start with the first series. You want to go? I don't have really have much to say about Cleveland because they're going to swipe. They're going to sweep whoever they play, regardless.
better.
In the AFC. So
Agreed.
They better.
I don't think we got to talk about that. What's the next one? What's the next series?
Pacers versus
Bucks.
Bucks.
Pacers versus Bucks. That's an interesting one to me, Brian. But I'm going to take the Bucks simply because Indiana just doesn't guard anybody.
What
Just
you want,
ever.
defense? Not in
I
this
mean,
league, bro. You don't need
just don't.
defense.
I don't think the Bucks are a championship level team, but they'll have enough to get by Indiana in 5. I don't know if you think any different or not.
It's interesting because there's only 2-game difference between the two, but I actually think the Pacers are going to win this. I do think it's a 6 or best of 5 in the first series, first round, correct? Or is it 7?
What's the league right now? Let me see.
I thought everything is 7. I don't think they do 5 anymore
I thought
because
they
of
changed
TV.
it everything to 7.
Mm-hmm.
I will
Yeah, I
assume
think
that
it
that's
is
the
7,
case.
bro.
And
Yeah,
then I
for
will say
TV.
that it's going to be a 6
Yeah,
game
everything
series.
is 7. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, too much money you want them extra games. Everything is 7.
Yep.
Yeah, 6 games.
All right. Next.
Knicks versus Pistons. Shout out to the Pistons for even being in the playoffs. They've had some good
Yeah,
years.
real talk. I know I gave them a game ball earlier just for being this far, but I think it kind of
Yeah,
ends
sure.
here. Not that I think the Knicks are great, but they
They got
usually
some
beat.
players though.
Yeah, but the Knicks, they don't do well against the upper echelon teams, and they beat these type of teams like the Pistons. So Pistons, I'm sure they're just happy to get in, which they should be. I mean, they made a lot of progress getting in the playoffs, but the Knicks should take care of them pretty easily.
I'm going to go Knicks in 6, so not as easily as you might think, but I do think they get it done.
Okay, shout out to the Pistons. Hey, they win 2 games. This is a big deal. And then last one, Celtics versus Magic. So
Yeah, I just think, to me, Brian, I don't know what you think. I just think all season, Cleveland and Boston are just on a collision course to meet each other in Eastern Conference Finals. That's how I've always looked at it, for months now. So I think Boston should take care of who they playing again? Orlando?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Boston's a veteran team, looking to go back to back. I'm taking Boston without a problem.
Yeah,
all right, let's
Celtics in 4.
slide to the
Celtics in 5.
slide to the West. Y'all know what this finals might be trending towards, right? The old school classic. That's all I'm gonna say.
We'll
So
see.
you got the Thunder and the 1 seed. So you had the playing games. You got the Kings played the Maverick. Well, I don't even know if you could say played.
Yeah.
The Kings were also on a basketball court with the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, just let everybody know that was Peerless One Sports top play of the day. Dallas Mavericks +5. Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead.
How much did do you get extra points for every 5 they went over?
Oh, really?
Kings
It was,
wasn't looking too good, man. From what I
man.
saw, I don't know what the final score was, but I turned away from it when they was down 20 something when I looked
Yep.
last. So you got the Kings played the Mavericks, so the Mavericks win that game. They're gonna play the Grizzlies, right? Winner's gonna be the 8th. The Warriors
No, not the
and
Grizzlies. They are. The
if I'm
8th.
not mistaken, the Warriors and
Oh, the Grizzlies. You're
oh
right.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
right.
Warriors and Grizzlies played
Right.
yesterday.
Right.
Warriors
Right.
win. They
Right.
slide to the 7th seed.
Yeah.
The Grizzlies
Right.
lose, so they now going to play the winner of tonight's game, the Kings versus Mavericks, which is now the Mavs. So that's going to be your 8th seed. So starting at the top, Thunder are either going to play the Dallas Mavericks or the Memphis Grizzlies, depending on who wins that next game.
I'll let Brian start the West series. Go ahead, B.
All right. Well, so I'm just going to assume that it's going to be the Grizzlies that are going to beat the Mavericks. I just don't think they're at all any good. But Thunder's going to win whoever they play in for. They're very good.
They better.
Certainly good against bad teams, and those are the only options right there. So Thunder and 4.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll have a little more to say about other series, but surprisingly, I didn't know this till I looked today. The Thunder are the Las Vegas or betting favorite, whatever you want to call them, to win the NBA championship, which is very surprising to me.
Yeah.
They've
been
odds.
the best team all year.
I get all that, but to me, they remind me of the Derrick Rose Bulls, where it's a young team. They get first seed, home court, whatever, and then kind of get exposed, second, third round of playoffs and never make the championship. But yeah, I'm with you. I got OKC sweeping whoever they play, or at least in 5.
Could definitely happen. Next, you got the Denver Nuggets versus the LA Clippers.
Ooh, interesting.
Right.
Go B.
I know y'all both gonna pick the
Here's
Clippers.
the thing. You know how much I don't like either of these teams. I hate both of them as much as I can hate teams. So it pains me to say that I'm picking the Clippers, who I hate more than any team. I think I honestly hate the Clippers more than I hate the Celtics. But
you do. Yeah, you do.
Anyways, the Clippers are hot. Kawhi is playing. He's healthy. He looks healthy, and they're very good right now. The Nuggets made the world's worst decision to fire a coach in the middle of a playoff.
4 games away.
Yeah, a playoff run. They ended up as the 4th seed. So they're kind of figuring out. Also, number 1 rule in picking teams is don't pick a team with Westbrook on it to win a series, a tough series.
Come on, man.
Although he will be properly motivated going against his old team, the Clippers, and his old team, the Thunder, and his old team, because he's played every damn place. But yeah, I think the Clippers are poised to do some things here. I will say that there was a whole bunch of people that for years, and I'm having lunch with Al tomorrow, and he's going to hear about it. I told everybody a long, long time ago when he was still a Laker, Ivica Zubac is going to be a stud for a really long time.
Yeah, Jerry West wanted
him. And if Jerry West wants him, he's too good to give up. But he is now one of the best defensive players and centers in the league. And he is just performing at a top level. It's weird to say that, but that was a huge, huge pickup. And he's actually been a difference maker playing with Kawhi and others. So anyways, Clippers. And I would say that's going to go 6.
You said that since he left.
Yeah, this series is up. So look, Jokic is going to have his way because Zubac is a nobody. Jokic is like Derrick Henry. I mean, he plays in an era where it fits his style and there's nobody as big as him. Like Derrick Henry play against linebackers and safeties that are not big anymore. Jokic plays against non-centers, and Zubac is a non-factor and a non-center. Jokic is going to play 40 minutes a game, and he's going to kill Zubac this series. So that's nothing. Malone, he had to go. If you bet on sports, you know that Denver doesn't play any defense. They didn't guard anybody while Malone was the coach because they quit on him. Now the timing of it was very bad. They should have got rid of him, when he wore everybody out a couple months ago when he was feuding with the GM. They should have got rid of them. this is too late for Denver. Denver is going to lose to the Clippers. And the reason why is because, number one, they play no defense. They got Westbrook on the team, which Brian said you're not going to win with him. And Kawhi is just killing it right now. He's the ultimate enigma, ultimate wild card. I saw him against the Warriors. He was killing Butler. He was killing Draymond Green. And, I don't like the Clippers either, but the Clippers are definitely going to beat Denver in 6. And Jokic is going to absolutely murder Zubac. It's not even going to be funny. But when Jokic is
Keep an
not
eye
on the
on
court,
that one.
when
We're going to come back to that one because I think you're dead wrong.
When Jokic is not on the court, Denver's offense, they don't have an offense unless he's on the court, and so it's bad. And like I said, with Russell Westbrook getting major minutes and shooting 37%, you're not going to beat the Clippers. You're just not going to do it.
Russ
So
can't do nothing.
I'm with Brian. Clips.
Man, enigma, please.
And how many games do you think?
I'm gonna give it 6. I want to say 5. It wouldn't surprise me, but I'll give it 6.
Damn.
Because and the reason why, Brian, not because I think Denver is good, but because I just don't think they want Jokic. For some reason, I don't think they want Jokic to go out so quick. Yeah, that's the only reason why.
Oh, I don't have any conspiracy behind it. I think Jokic is just so good that he can win a few games by himself.
Yep.
Man, y'all joking. That boy Westbrook was on the Thunder, the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Lakers, and the Rockets, and all these teams in the playoffs.
I said it because it was true. He's been everywhere.
That's crazy. He's been on almost every team in here.
Every time he goes on the court, he's like, "I'm playing my old team tonight."
That's right. 38% shooting. Here we go. Yeah.
Jeez. Enigma, please. All right. So you got that, and then you got the Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Go ahead, B. What you think? You taking T-Wolves?
Absolutely not. So I actually think this is a really good matchup for the Lakers, where I think they can play a smart game plan. They're playing against a team that they don't have to play as much defense, which is good because they don't play much defense, in my opinion, although they did get good for a stretch. I do think the Lakers win this. I do think it's probably in 6. I wish it was going to be sooner because old guys need rest, but Ant is a really talented player.
Yeah, he's a baller.
And he can win some games. So Lakers in 6.
Yeah, the Edwards going to have to score at least 40 points in a couple games to win or even have a chance in this series. The thing about Anthony Edwards is, though, he's not a playmaker, and there's nobody else on Minnesota that actually scares the Lakers. So you could put 2 guys on Anthony Edwards and kind of force other guys to beat them. The Lakers, I agree, it's a favorable matchup. People's like, well, what about Gobert? Well, the Lakers run a 5-out offense. So Gobert is going to sit in the middle while the Lakers get wide open threes. So that kind of neutralizes him. And then if you look at just a player standpoint, I'll take Luka's all-around game over Anthony Edwards if you want to think of those the best 2 players. And you got the next player, LeBron, who's way better than Julius Randle. Julius Randle is one of those, guys in the regular season, plays hard, gets his 18, 19, 20 points, but always gets exposed in the playoffs. And he's a B- C+ player when it comes to playoffs. So I'm taking LeBron there. And Anthony Reeves is better than any other guy. Austin Reeves. I'm sorry. Austin Reeves better than any other guy. I'm thinking Anthony Davis still on the team.
Yeah.
But yeah, Austin Reeves better than any other guy. McDaniels, Gobert, whatever that you want to put out there. So I think the Lakers have advantages there. And then lastly, I think I texted you guys by accident when somebody was asking me how I felt about Luka in the series. I said this guy McDaniels or Daniels is going to guard Luka, who's Minnesota's best perimeter player. He's too little. He's too skinny. Luka's going to have his way with him. So I just don't see, unless Anthony Edwards explodes for 40, 45, 50 points in a couple games, I see this was the best possible draw for the Lakers. Mm-hmm. And they also avoid having to play all three teams. OKC, they avoid playing
Nuggets
the Clippers. Yeah. So this is a good draw for the Lakers, man. So
the finals if they make it.
I got them. Yep, I got them winning this series. I'm with Brian. I got them in 6, just because they're old guys and they might give up a game.
They need to get it done as soon as they can so they can get some rest between the next series. But all right, word. So you got that, and then the last one, the Rockets versus the Warriors.
What you think, B?
Did y'all watch that game last night? The Warriors playing game?
Yeah, they barely won.
I know you did.
Yep.
I know.
Yeah,
hey, that was a fun game to watch, though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I only watched the first half. Yeah, I showed you guys
that second half. That was fun.
Yeah,
that was. Yeah. I can't lie. Playoff basketball, I'm into. Like I told you, I don't care about hoops, and I see what it is. It's like other sports where there's a ton of games all year, whatever. But when you get to playoffs, I'm locked in. It's a good ass game. So Rockets versus the Warriors. Who y'all got?
B, what's your analysis?
I'm gonna go against I'm going to go with my gut and against my head on this one, which I almost never do. I'm gonna take the Warriors in probably 7. I
Damn.
think the Warriors have a streak in them where they're one of those teams that can get hot and expose a team that's not ready. And I think the Rockets are not ready. And I think that they've been consistent all season, but they've never been great. And the Lakers have had all this up and down, and they got the 3 seed. I think they would have either gotten the 2nd seed. But anyways, I'm gonna go with the Warriors and say that they've got one last push in them to get to the next round. I also think if you want a conspiracy, that the NBA absolutely wants the Lakers versus the Warriors in the next round, that old guard.
Yeah.
Of
versus
course.
the other side where you have the Thunder and the Nuggets and the Clippers, which is the new guard. So
absolutely.
If you're a conspiracy theorist, it was written to be the Lakers and Warriors.
Yeah, Curry, LeBron, you want out every time.
Yeah. When the Lakers played the Warriors last time, that was the highest rated playoff game they had in years. But Brian, I'm kind of conflicted on this one. So I think one side, this Jonathan Kuminga thing, that whole Kuminga crowd kind of cracks me up because nobody seems to realize he just doesn't fit in with the veterans on the team. He fits in with the second team where he can just do his own thing, but that second team is not going to win titles. So the Kuminga crowd kind of cracks me up because if you understand the Warriors, veterans work on that team, the Iggy's, the Bogut's, the KD's, the Butlers, the young guys, the Wisemans, these Jordan Pooles, these guys just don't work. And Kuminga, he just can't play with these guys. And then the Warriors don't have any length. Houston is physical and they have length and they're athletic too as well. So it's kind of hard, but I don't want to take Houston, but it's like they have so many advantages. They're physical. They defend the 3 well. The Warriors, they have the best player in Curry. They have the best coach in Kerr. But the last 4 games, Houston has held the Warriors 105 points or less, which is actually pretty impressive. And then they have a guy on the team named Albert Shagun. When he's on Moody, it allows their other 3 perimeter players to play against Butler, to play against Draymond, to play against Steph and switch against them, it kind of gives the Warriors fits. But at the same time, on the flip side, the Warriors are so good in the last 2 minutes of a game, and they're like probably the best team in the league the last 2 minutes. They always find a way to get points. They always find a way to win. But I'm going to go, having said all that, I think Kuminga needs to play in this series because they need his length, they need his athleticism against Houston. And then, but I think at the end of the day, I think Houston wins. I'm taking Houston in 7. I know that's not popular, but I just think Houston has what it takes to give the Warriors fits, and if they let them play physical, I think they'll wear the Warriors down. Now, if they don't let them play physical, that plays in the Warriors' hands, of course, and we'll get that Lakers-Warriors matchup. But I'm taking Houston here. It's hard to see Steph going out in the first round. It really is, and I wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong, but I'm taking Houston in 7.
Cool.
Yep.
I got
GB,
I was just gonna say I think it's Jimmy Butler on that team, man.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro. Like watching
Well,
him
especially in the playoffs. Yeah.
Bro, watching him last night without him.
Yeah.
Watching him last night without him, and then when he came in, like I don't really. I mean, I pay attention, but I don't. Every time I don't watch basketball. I knew he was on the team, but I didn't really watch him all play. So he's on the bench. I'm not really paying attention. He comes in, they go on like a 27-7 run.
Yeah.
Like damn, like he's a game changer for them boys, man, for real.
You know what I thought when they got him though? Be honest with you, I didn't talk about on the podcast. I think that spelled the end of Jonathan Kuminga. I think that's what they wanted Kuminga to be, and I just don't think he's ever going to be that on that team with Kerr and Curry in them. I just think Kuminga's going to be gone after this year because I think Butler is still on the team next year, right?
I mean,
Isn't
even if
Butler
they
still
are,
on the team?
bro, if y'all don't win it, if they don't win it this year, it ain't.
Well, the Warriors ain't gonna win the
chances left.
championship. Well, the Warriors ain't got no size. They ain't winning the championship.
Ain't a lot of chances left, bro. So it's gonna be interesting to see. But cool. So that's your NBA, that's NHL, that's WNBA, that's the Masters. Brian played Pebble Beach. That's our show pretty much. Again, next week we're gonna talk NFL draft. I can't believe we're already here at the draft, which is great. We're getting closer to real football. So yeah, let's talk it. Last few segments, man, starting with Hogwash. Yeah, y'all got anything that is hella hogwash these days?
Well, I got one. Since we're talking about the NBA, I'm gonna talk about NBA players. They are my hogwash, and the reason why they are my hogwash is the way this chirping back and forth between the old generation and this generation, how, you know, the only guy who was skilled back then was Michael Jordan. He's the only person that can play in our era and blah, blah, blah. This is why the NBA is the NBA and why people get turned off about it. You will never hear somebody like Cam Ward say, hey man, you know, JJ Watt couldn't play today. You know what I'm saying? Me and Joe Green would have no sacks if he played today. You just don't hear people, Joe Montana would suck if he played today. You just never hear people in football say stupid
It's
stuff
actually
like
kinda
that.
true.
But the NBA, they do it all the time. And I think it's just a bad look. So it's these young players I'm giving my hogwash to. Somebody has to get the ball rolling for a sport to go and make money and reach the heights that it does. You don't disrespect those players and just say, oh, they can't play, they weren't any good, because they paved the way for you to get these overrated millions that a lot of these players are getting. Average NBA salary is $12 million. There are
Crazy.
guys making that with $50 million contracts. If they left the league, you, I, or anybody wouldn't know who the hell they were, and the league wouldn't skip a beat. So
Wouldn't
you can't.
know him if you walked in here now.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't disrespect what the older generation did, man, to put you in the position you in now, man. That's just a level of disrespect I don't like. So my hogwash is these young NBA players talking about the old guard.
I will say y'all old heads do get on the young boys too.
But we respect their game, though.
I was just gonna see if you was gonna let me get away with calling you an old head like that.
just saying.
I knew where you went.
Yeah.
You know, respect the game.
Good point. B, what you got, bro?
For me, it's the defenders of live golfers in general. So I heard, you know, when I was at Pebble, I was playing with people who were some very few people, but it happens. And I was there, people who were all excited about Bryson and Phil and Reed and you know, DJ, Dustin Johnson, and so on and so forth. Man, these dudes don't do it. And they are the game. You know, there's something about the level of competition in the PGA, USGA, and you can't just turn that on and become those types of players. For DeChambeau, when he falls apart, it's always in the fourth round. Guess what? How many rounds do they play in live? They play three. They play three.
Funny.
They play shotgun golf, which
That's
doesn't
funny.
have that element of coming down the stretch because everyone's playing at the same time and you're playing on different holes. And so you really don't know what other people are doing. When the moments get big, you have to be in that spotlight consistently in order to know how that feels. And you know, some of the players who went to live, they went because they were at the end of their career. So you know,
Sure.
there's that element too, and that's fine. But when these folks and they're going, oh, the live golfers, they're blah blah blah, Bryson this, and you know, Brooks Koepka's the guy in majors. He was the guy in majors. He ain't the guy no more. There was one person just recently got in this huge argument, almost took $100 on the golf course. But before that, after that happened, he was talking all this trash. Like, Phil Mickelson's still great at the Masters. Like, he was so great last year, you just missed it. Like, he didn't make the cut this year. Last year, he finished 43rd. Let's just stop with this. So all these folks who want to defend live golfers and act like they're real, their tournament right before the Masters over in I think it was Doral had 12,000 viewers on a Thursday. 12,000. That's less than fits in your average stadium. There's like
it's less than a San Jose Sharks game.
Yeah, they're giving away tickets. It is some of those players might be okay, but this is the reason why they're having so much trouble with these negotiations, because live golfers think that they matter. And they don't. That's all there is. There's like four. Bryson's would probably be a top player. Brooks maybe, but he's kind of let it go. You know, DJ's more interested in the snow in his nose than he is in
really
golf. So,
jeez, all right,
man. Yeah,
to him.
Right.
My hogwash is to Brian Morey. And all his damn amazing golf trips that I was at work and home at for. So forget Brian
and I'm sitting
as a staff.
Hey, you want a gift? You want a gift from this amazing
I know, I
place?
appreciate that. No, hey, you my brother, man. I appreciate that. He gonna call me from the joint while I'm at work. Couldn't answer it because I'm in a damn meeting, bruh. While he eating pimento cheese snippets and damn peach ice cream sandwiches.
Well, that's a good. Well, look, that's a good segue to the game ball.
Yeah,
because
holler at
because my game ball is going to Brian.
him. Straight up.
Take it both ways.
For
amazing golf trips, right?
not for the amazing, but also for the little football scoop. I won't divulge it because I didn't say it. I didn't get it. So so I'm giving it to Brian, man, for doing investigative journalism. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah,
Glenn, we have a good private tour whenever we go out there. That's locked in.
Oh, that's fire, bro. That's dope. Nah, shout out. Hey, I take my hogwash back. I want to say Brian's one of the best there is. Brian also gets my game ball.
Yeah, no, I made some good friends this last few days.
Nice.
Great people, really great people, and just happened to work in some cool places in sports. We'll be talking a little bit about that later.
Nice. You got a game ball, B?
Not really. I hadn't really thought about it. My game ball is to the vendors. Gonna leave nameless that put me in a position to go and do amazing things.
Yeah, shout out for real.
I had to turn down a round at Pelican so I could go to Pebble Beach, and
poor guy.
2025 has sucked. It still sucks, even with all these really amazing things that just happened. But those were choice moments in life, let alone this year.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Nah, I'm joking. It's been great to actually kind of live that experience through you, man. So that is awesome. So minute to win it, man. Mine is for everybody who listens. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to my folks at work. The homie Rick who listened, to my people at work, all my friends that check us out, family, all y'all, man. We love you. Thank you for checking us out. And that's who my minute to win it is for. Everybody who listens to us. Appreciate you so much.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, man. There's people that ask me questions. We got people up and down California, San Diego, Chula Vista, LA,
so much.
the Bay, Florida. Everybody, man, that hollers at me, got questions, tunes to the podcast. Even the the critiques they give us. It's a lot of good feedback, a lot of good positive feedback, especially if you've been watching this for a while. Kind of got a good rhythm going right now. I appreciate the compliments saying, man, you guys, give out, real insight, and they enjoy watching. So I thank everybody for watching. Takes time out to listen to our podcast.
Thank you. B?
For me, it's always about something else other than sports usually, and it is this time. So there's been a lot of stuff going on where the White House has been attacking law firms, and wasn't able to really talk too much about it over the last couple of weeks. But in the time since, the law firm I work for, Munger, Tolles & Olson, actually stood up to the White House and filed an amicus brief, and had 500 500 law firms the first time sign on to the amicus brief which we wrote, and then the next two times 800 law firms sign on in support of our amicus brief, in support of Perkins Coie and other law firms. And what's been going on, essentially, just to give you a high level, the president has issued executive orders to try and get law firms to not do anything related to diversity, to let go of or reverse their diversity practices. He's also taken on Harvard Law School, and then he's also been issuing EEOC letters, which basically are calling into question, if you were to hire a Black male, that it would be considered a diversity hire regardless of the reason why you hired them, and that they should change their practices and hire basically people who don't fit any demographic other than the one he's part of. I couldn't be prouder to work at a law firm that has done the right thing. I've been part of a lot of task force meetings to prepare for all of this. I've seen the sausage get made. And yesterday, Don Varelli, who is a hero, at least should be a hero, went in front of the federal court in opposition of Trump's chump lawyer, and won a temporary restraining order for Sussman Gottfried, which was one of the law firms that was attacked with these EOs, and won it. It's really an honor and a pleasure to work with people who have morals and ethics and are using them to push back, because we're at a point now where attorneys who go out of the country, if attorneys who are going out of the country and then come back are having the United States confiscate their stuff and tell them that they have to give them passcodes read their email. This is attorney client privilege. Read their email, and if they don't, they are detaining them, locking them up because they are trying to see the email. I personally have to think about and figure out how to prepare our law firm for these types of contingencies. We are absolutely at a place where there is an imminent threat to not only to the safety, but also just to the rule of law, to personal privacy, to diversity. And I am, the FAFO movement is now in full swing because there's a whole bunch of people who thought either everything will just be the same, blue team, red team, it's all the same. I'm talking about. That's not the case. There's a whole bunch of Trump voters who are now getting detained, losing their subsidies, losing their money, losing their jobs, losing their livelihoods. It is definitely that FAFO moment, and I for one don't have sympathy for those people. But all this to say, I'm really proud of my law firm. I mean, it is super hard. It's super scary for them to do what they're doing, and congratulations to them on a temporary restraining order to protect the rule of law for Sussman Godfrey.
Respect. That's the Sports Counterpoints podcast for April 16, 2025. We'll catch y'all next time. Thanks.
I got one more thing. Don't stop it yet, Glenn. I need y'all to look into this whole, I don't know if it's a hoax or if it's true or not. Floyd Mayweather is facing bankruptcy. I don't know if that's true or not, but somebody get back at me. I don't know.
Goodness.
I don't know.
Right,
if that's true. Wow.
We're gonna talk about it. There it is.
There we
man.
go.
We'll catch y'all next week. Peace.
All right.